right now.
Hello, all my traditionally masculine men. This is the SJW podcast. we've got quite the trio on right now. We got me, we got Nick S, we got Joey on.
Yeah, shout out to all the fans out there.
I wonder if anyone's gonna listen to this.
It's a wrap up.
My mom, she usually listens to these. So
I get good feedback on my podcast. People tell me we have some good podcasts. So we're a couple weeks post fantasy season. So we thought we'd come on and talk a little bit about what happened and who won and
withdrawals. The fantasy football withdrawals.
Yeah. I mean, like, we got the playoffs, but the playoffs aren't the same. Like, especially last weekend with, like, 4 shitty games. Like, you were watching football, but it wasn't like watching football. Like,
yeah. I'm thinking the games this weekend are going to be a lot better.
Well,
we'll see. I can just see the Patriots just, like, completely shutting down their offense for some reason. Just completely shutting the Chiefs out. Like, it'll make no sense. Like, yeah, Bill Belichick will just figure out how to do that. I don't know how the Colts got shut down by the
I like
Chiefs.
This weekend. I like the Chiefs and I like the Rams.
Joe and I were talking Patriots.
I'm the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. We're both going Patriots Saints.
I just like when Tom wins, just because it makes everyone so mad. It's so great. It's like when Schultz wins every year in fantasy. I mean, It's just everyone gets so mad. It's the best. It's the
Dynasties last forever.
If you weren't paying attention, we did pull off our 3rd straight fantasy football championship.
It's rigged.
Don't ask me how I did it.
So rigged.
Actually, can you ask me how I did it?
How'd you do it?
I'll tell you how I did that. I absolutely slaughtered Widlow. Okay. No doubt in my mind that we would pull that one out. And the boys showed up. Let's go. Let's talk about our matchup. Let's just hit it. Let's hit it big. Let's hit it with the championship.
What a tradition.
Dude, I'm gonna say it was because of some key midseason trades that really let you win that game. But let's bring it up.
Do this. So let's go. Yep. So I took out Widlow in the championship, 188.6 to 103.4.
It's not even close.
Absolutely destroyed him. Widlow had a terrible week.
He did. Not a good week at all. Shouldn't have played Phillip Rivers. Should not have played Phillip Rivers. I'll say that. I don't know what his options were.
Yeah.
Hindsight's 2020, but should not have played Phillip Rivers.
You just kind of killed him, like.
Yeah, all right. So, the first games were going on. I felt pretty good. Nobody was really going off, but Ty had a pretty nice game. The Colts defense kind of scared me, but it was the later guys that really just blew. All right, first off, it was the early game. Aaron Rodgers, 43 points.
Yeah. Wow.
2 rushing touchdowns. I think they were both in the 4th quarter, and then he had a 4th quarter or overtime touchdown to win it.
He just
that one didn't matter much because of Adams, but the Rodgers rushing touchdowns. I mean, just 42 points or 43 points from my quarterback, 3 points from his quarterback. So just right there, one position, 40 point swing. You love to see it.
Such a sad defeat.
And then Antonio Brown went wild. Jamal Williams also. So the Packers, those 2 Packer guys, Jamal Williams, who I picked up a couple days before the game started.
And Doug Baldwin like actually had a decent game too.
Doug Baldwin has been sitting on my bench all year. He knew that week 16 was the week. I knew week 16 was the week for Doug Baldwin.
Imagine if you played a halfway decent defense, you would have probably scored like close to 200.
I had the Falcons on my bench, and they had 12.
Yeah.
I would have put up 200.
That would have been even a better tale, but I think we got the point on the absolute.
Yeah. And I just want to say, first off, the money's great. You'll have to make money, but the biggest thing for me with this was all year. Wow, it's in my ear every podcast, dude. Woodlow's team is so good.
They were so good.
He's like, no one has any chance. Like
they would have beat you last week, the week before.
It's true because his team was very consistent. It was very good, but there is a random element of fantasy football that we just seem to forget about. We just push it off. But this is the random element, and to do it to Widlow in the championship, I couldn't be happier. Wow.
What about C.J. Anderson? Do you think C.J. Anderson is making his way as a number 2 back in Los Angeles?
Anderson.
I love it.
Does he take away value from Todd Gurley next season?
The way they used him no, I wouldn't say that. But the way they used him in the playoff game, they should keep him on that team. And even if it does take away a little bit of Todd's value, I think it helps injury-wise. He's less likely to get hurt. He's less likely to get burned out. I think that's a great, solid 1-2 combo. Maybe if C.J. Anderson cuts...
Do you put like Saquon or Zeke over him since the volume's there?
If the Giants have the same situation, more or less, I think I would go Saquon. Now, if it's a rookie quarterback and they go away from Eli, then it's a little different. But if it's Eli, I feel like he's going to keep getting touches. You could see an argument for Gurley.
Yeah.
Depending on where Bell goes, you can see an argument for Bell.
Yeah, it depends where he ends up.
Yeah. And I know receivers won't get picked that high, but after the year Hopkins had, after the year Mike Thomas had, Zeke, I still think Gurley's a top 2 pick. And Joe, you'll get to decide who you want.
Yeah,
where you're going to pick.
I'm thinking I'm still trying to plan out what I want to do with that draft pick choice, but we'll see what I have in store there.
I'll say first off, we can get off my third straight fantasy football championship with a final fuck you, Widlow. And Joe, I would say your best bet for your pick is to find whatever the top, 3, 4 running backs, whoever you're comfortable with, Gurley, Saquon, Zeke, McCaffrey, however you want to rank those guys. Find the one you're the most comfortable with and just take the last pick you can get him. So if you go, okay, I like Saquon, I like Zeke, I like Gurley, and I like McCaffrey, and you expect those to be the top 4 picks, I wouldn't pick McCaffrey that high, but some people will. And you want one of those guys and you're okay with any of them, just take the lowest pick and then just pick the one that's left. But if you're not sure, you don't like Gurley as much as you like Saquon or the opposite, or maybe you don't like Zeke very much, just grab the one. You can sort of play it out, but you don't take the number 1 pick and then be unsure who you're taking. Because you'd rather have the second pick. Let someone else decide for you. And don't do what Ben Guzik did and pick a guy who is holding out of his contract.
No, that I will not do that. I was thinking about doing that, but you just reminded me not to do that. So
it would be ridiculous to pick someone number 2 who's holding out.
I'm gonna pick Tom Brady first pick, number 1 overall. That's the plan, I think.
Yep.
I really thought you'd go with Jaguars defense. That's been a popular pick over the last few years.
And speaking of defense,
here's the question: did Ben Guzik learn his lesson about picking a defense too early?
I would hope so.
But is he going to pick the Bears in the 5th round next year?
Is that the reason Ben Guzik did not make it to the playoffs? Do you think that's the reason?
No.
I'll give you a couple of reasons why Ben Guzik didn't make the playoffs. And I would say the biggest one is Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, he picked number 2. Number 2.
But I traded for him and I still made the playoffs.
Yeah, but you traded for him like week 8.
No, I think it's earlier than that.
week 6.
Yeah, the point is, though, he wasted just his draft pick pretty much.
And you traded him for AJ Green, who's like a late second-round pick.
Early second round. I think early to mid second round, yeah. It's a mid second round.
Whatever. AJ Green sucks. Guzik's team was bad this year because Guzik made some bad decisions. It starts with the draft, and then it went mid-season, and then he kind of pulled it together when he kind of scammed Grimmer.
Yeah.
And he almost slipped in.
He did scam Grimmer there. That was pretty funny.
But to call it a trade isn't even fair. That was a scam. And,
Ben Guzik's run some scams in the fantasy football league. Watch out for those, especially if your name's Nick Grimmer.
We can go over everyone's teams and do like a recap thing.
Let's hit up my game with Presta.
Joe, do you have anything to say about your game with TJ?
The consolation ladder could not have ended in a better way.
That's what I'm saying.
The rivalry, yeah.
The 11th and 12th seed, winner take all, pretty much in terms of who is the worst, but also who is the best retard, I'd say, out of the consolation players. I mean, really, we can look at the matchup really quick here. Chris Carson at the end of the season there was a monster.
Yeah, he put together.
And I'm glad Seattle decided that they're going to still run the ball and not rely on Russell Wilson as much. Because I don't think
in the playoffs was not glad they decided to run the ball.
Yeah, they were struggling there.
They played the Cowboys though.
Well, Sean Lee and his team is pretty good.
Yeah, and they would have won a shootout with the Cowboys, but they ran the ball the first 2 plays of every drive, then put Russell Wilson into 3rd and long every time, and then they're like, "Why aren't we winning? Why don't you throw the ball?"
Yeah, but back to the matchup here though. It's kind of average performances by most of the individuals here. Drew Brees, who kind of was like struggling towards the end of the season, did not great, but okay. He did well enough, outscoring Josh Allen.
I didn't realize this game was so low scoring.
Play Josh Allen in like a playoff game in Yahoo?
I think I ended up. Oh yeah, I did. It was the week before though. I think he actually did decent.
Oh, okay.
A mistake that I made, though, which I was kind of worried about, but then it still worked out, was benching the Ravens defense. Of course,
didn't matter though.
Did not matter, but the Ravens defense they did work once again.
Yeah, they were playing the Chargers.
Shepard was good against the Colts that week. He kind of tore us up, but you have solid receivers. Hey, could that Juju Fournette trade have worked out any better?
Honestly not. Nope.
You got your guy like all season, and I got my guy when I needed my guy later on. Like I just ate it. So
yeah, that was one of those rare trades that worked out for both people.
I don't think Fournette helped you that much though, to be honest.
He had like
2 games, but it was before the playoffs, I think. Remember, because he was suspended the first game of playoffs.
Yeah, he was. That sucked. He had from week 10 to week 12, which is right when I got him back. He came back week 10. He had a bye week 9. I think I traded for him week 8 or something. Yeah, that sounds right. I had him for 3 21-plus point games, 25, 21, 24. And then he took like it was shitty with a 0, a 5, and a 7. But he came back in the playoffs, and he hooked it up with 15 when I needed him. So he probably won me a week or so within that 10 to 12 range, or at least like made a difference in a game. And I know Juju helped Joe's team out.
If I quickly look at Juju here, the deal that I got from that, the trade was like around week 8, then he had 4 double-digit games in a row. Had a kind of a weird game. He only scored 8. Then a 29-point game. And then, just very consistent, I think.
And it would have been weird for my team to have Antonio Brown and Juju. Like, I guess it would have worked out.
Yeah,
but it would have been interesting. And I needed the running backs. Man, I'm just so proud of Doug Baldwin. Like, when I needed Doug Baldwin most, like Rodgers especially, because like I was saying all year, like I wish I traded Rodgers. Like he had that bit. He was an average fantasy QB this season. He wasn't anything special. And week 16, the dude just went wild. I feel like our Kelsey Ingram Cooper trade. I guess you got the better end of that because Cooper went wild.
Yeah, he wanted me like a pretty key week. I think he wanted me that week against Little B in the playoffs.
Yeah, and he screwed me a couple times in that other league. But I
think that's still pretty decent.
I didn't know Amari Cooper was gonna start going wild.
But then he had he only scored 4 points in the final week, so like he's still really boomer bust.
Yeah, Kelsey only had like 7 or 8.7, but Kelsey also had 3 25+ point games for me.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a fine trade.
I'll take it. You and Presta, this was fun. We watched this at what? Hooters.
Yeah, Hooters.
You guys were.
And then we got that one guy who had the Chiefs jersey on was getting hyped up. Yeah.
Fake Chiefs, man. And this was a really close game. Came down to a point, less than a point.
Yeah. 0.6.
Yep.
And Mahomes really just hooked me up.
Yeah, he did. I don't really want to talk about players, although Robert Woods had a great week for Presto. I want to just more reactionary. Like, so what? This is did you get third place last? No.
No, I got like something like that and the year before. Something like, I don't know. But I made playoffs the last 4 years. One, like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And just kind of choked in playoffs. But like a couple of the years I barely squeaked in playoffs, and I was kind of just happy I was able to get in.
And like you said that one time, last 3 years you've been in the playoffs, we have never played.
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow.
You don't get a chance. I'm just so glad I beat Woodlow. Like I just can't put into words. Like if it were someone else, I would have been happy to win. But the fact that it was Woodlow with his team this year, with everything on the line, man, I really I hate the Patriots, but now I kind of feel like the Patriots. Like I just came in here and like it's getting kind of old.
And that's what's going to happen this year.
What do I do?
The Patriots are going to win it all. So
what do I do? Like, do I just keep playing, keep trying to win?
Do we have to like start like not trading with you? Is that like how it's gonna eventually come down? I feel like one more year.
Thing with trades, it's like I don't offer trades that like I know if I offer a dumb trade, no one's gonna accept it. So I try to make trades that either look like they would be good for you or are actually good for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
there are trades that are good for both parties.
Every single trade I've ever done with Schultz has actually been good for both of us, like every time.
Yeah. Like,
and I should have did it sooner.
Sometimes it's lopsided because of an injury or something, and you can't predict that.
Yeah.
No.
But most of the times you can look and be like, well, I need receiver depth. I need running back depth. He has this. He has that. Like, I'm not going to and like, even me and Woodlow made a trade, and obviously it kind of worked out for me, but like I gave him Gurley and like something like that. Like,
dude, and to the people that try and offer lopsided trades to people, we're not stupid. We are so far from just not knowing who you are offering us.
Except he got Grimmer on that one dumb deal. So he's going to keep trying.
That's true. So Grimmer, it's like negative stupid. And everyone else, just I don't know. Be aware of scammers out there trying to take your players.
It's like when we used to
trade
try
scams.
To take people in Modern Warfare 2. We'd be like, "Hey, we'll get you 10 prestige." Like, "Hey, I'll help you win your championship." No, you won't. Can you prove it? No. 1,600 Microsoft points, please.
Technically, after the whole thing was finished, Ben Guzik finished in last place based on the playoff ladder.
Which is strange because he was the highest seeded consolation bracket member.
I don't think we really should take that as too much face value, I guess. It might have just been however they put that together.
I think it just goes off like, well, I don't know how honestly, I don't set up the consolation bracket to work other than the buys for the first two. Yeah, he had a buy. How did he get last if he had a buy?
I don't know.
Did he lose out?
He
He
did.
must have lost out.
You want to go through like everyone's season and see if like it was a successful season, just kind of neutral, or
we can do that.
All right, let's start with like the regular season. So let's start with TJ.
Pressed a narrow loss in 4th place, but like good season.
Yeah.
Let's start with Presta.
We're starting with Presta. That's kind of a random spot, but
no, he's number one. Number one seed. Just go down the standings.
We'll just pick around. We'll just pick around. We'll just pick people. We'll just start talking about them.
Yeah, I'd say Presta had a good season.
Yeah.
He kind of maintained that number one spot the entire time.
Yeah.
Under Widlow. Sucks that he didn't, that he fell to 4th place. But, I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. So.
He still made the playoffs and still put together a solid team.
All right, so Presta, he got 2nd last year. I would argue he was, and I think record-wise he might have been right about the same. I would say that this was a better year for Presta than last year was, for sure. Like, regardless of plays. Because, like, Presta had a good drafted team, and he made some good calls this year. Like, the Nick Chubb thing, like, nobody saw coming, and, like, Presta was the Nick Chubb guy. He was the first one on when Spencer Ware, or when Kareem Hunt got hurt. Like, he was the one with Spencer Ware. Like,
it didn't end up helping him.
Didn't end up working out, but like that's the kind of fantasy move that like in the past, like me or you would make immediately.
Yeah.
And the fact that Presta was on there to do that, like I feel like that was super smart. And even if it doesn't work out, like it's all about opportunity.
I made both those moves in Yahoo, and it really helped out, especially with Chubb.
Mm-hmm. And like Robert Woods was a stud this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 3 flexes, and like Golden Tate getting traded was a mess for him. But overall, good year from him. All right, let's go through. Let's do. Let's talk about TJ. So TJ lost the consolation bracket.
Very up and down season for TJ. Mostly down. Down, but
I'll say this.
Some up
overall, negative year on TJ's part. He was out of it before he was ever in it. He was never in it. He was always out of it. But
I do like the resilience, though. Yeah.
Resilience, yes. No, that's exactly. He made it very clear he was not giving up, and I feel like Guzik, like Emil, like Little B, because they had to give up once they lost, but they did give up. All right, and TJ didn't give up, and
he very well should have given up almost.
Yeah, he should have
give up. Yeah.
And TJ's team, first off, he drafted too many Patriots. Don't do that. Don't draft too much of one team.
He traded his team to Widlow then. He just traded all of his studs to Widlow.
Yeah, but he did it. I see why he did it. He did it too early.
Yeah.
He gave up on his squad a little too early. But
if he would have held out, would he have had a shot at making playoffs? He would have had Kareem Hunt. Who else was in that deal? Do you remember?
Ty.
I still think he would. I think he would have won a few more games, but
Ty went nuts the last like 7 or 8 weeks of the season. Like he averaged like around 20 fantasy points a game.
I think he would have won a few more games, but I don't know if it would have been enough to put him in playoffs. But hard to say.
What happened with Derrick Henry?
He just started being good.
Is he a guy now?
Where do you take Derrick Henry?
Is someone going to draft Derrick Henry like 5th? Like you got drafted in like the 5th round this year, right?
He's got to be around.
Is someone going to make that mistake next year? Is that a mistake next year? If he's
I don't know.
Do what he did?
I think if he's, you can't draft him too early. I don't think he's that powerhouse. I don't think he's as good as what everyone's going to think that he is.
He just went nuts the last few games.
Deion Lewis is.
I mean, some players go nuts all the time.
I don't think Deion Lewis is going away.
No,
I don't know.
Do you believe in the Titans' offense enough that they're going to be in the cruise control? Are they going to be cruising through games in which Derrick Henry can get 20, 25 touches?
Let me ask you this: is Marcus Mariota going to ever be healthy?
No.
Then
maybe
there's your answer.
I don't think
No.
Here's a better.
Right.
Is Marcus
I
Mariota an
personally-
NFL quarterback?
Yes.
I don't think he's very good.
I think
would
he's
say-
good, but he's just glass.
You think he's a
so
starter or no? Or do you
Yeah,
think he's
yeah,
a bench
he's a starter.
backup?
I think he's a starter.
I don't know if he's a starter.
He out of the 32
we can make a
NFL
list.
teams, he will start on a
We can
team.
we can get completely sidetracked. We can just talk about Marcus Mariota. here. Let's name quarterbacks you'd rather have than Marcus Mariota. Okay,
Mitch Trubisky.
I'll take Mitch. That's one.
You know, I would argue against that, and here's why.
What? No.
I would argue against that, and here's why. And I'm not biased. I'm not. This is totally unbiased. I think
Not biased.
Mitchell
Don't worry.
Trubisky is absolute garbage. I do not think
he got in the position to kick a game-winning field goal.
No. I'm pretty sure that the returning special teams got him.
I want to say
a field
before
goal.
we start this
Trubisky should have
quarterback
scored a
thing.
touchdown and finished that game on that drive. Is what he should have done.
Did the Bears? First off, the Bears did not deserve to win that game.
Yeah.
All right, regardless of the outcome of it, they did not deserve to win that game.
All right, that's like a reference to earlier. I think that was off the air, but yeah, okay, that's good stuff.
Okay. Wasn't that the funniest thing you've ever seen when he missed that fucking kick?
Oh my
Not
God!
how it's go. I was literally crying.
I-
In like the fourth quarter, we were trying to figure out. We're like, oh, the Bears are gonna win, I think. And then Grimmer was like, no, Cody Parkey's gonna come and miss the field goal.
I was honestly
And I'm like,
expecting
oh
it.
shit! And then I started cheering for a score in which they could miss the field goal. And then it was like, oh shit! They're gonna be able to get in field goal range and win it by one. And I'm like, he's gonna have to kick the field goal. And I got so excited. Like we called it
I couldn't breathe.
second half. Oh yeah, I had to run into my. I just started right as he missed the kick. Like 5 people shuffled into my house from next door, and we were just dying. Like they couldn't even like say anything. Like I was crying, and then I had to go in my room and just laugh for like 2 minutes. And
Yeah.
I wasn't even that mad because I was expecting it. I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you could predict it honestly.
yeah, no,
That's
every Bears fan sat there and was like, he's gonna miss this kick.
He's gonna miss. He's gonna hit out the freaking crossbar.
And then he made the first
No.
kick, and it was like, oh, maybe he has it. Like maybe he's got no, he doesn't.
I like how he got iced, and then you just the second time out he just misses it. I mean, and okay, I mean, it was blocked.
Tipped, but
It got
it
tipped.
was barely,
It was
barely tipped.
It didn't
though.
even like really change the trajectory of the ball. Come on, he that was kind of on him. So what do you do? And I mean they're gonna cut him, but they gotta wait. So I
Yeah.
mean they didn't do it immediately because
It
they'll lose
said that
money.
like he has a salary next year, like
Yeah.
guaranteed. Like they can't do anything about it. Like it's gonna be dead cap. Like even if they get a new kicker, they still gotta pay Parkey.
Yeah,
Robbie Gold's on free agency.
that would be quite the redemption arc.
Okay, so what's smarter if you're the Bears? Cutting Parkey and then paying Gold a bunch of money to get him as a free agent? Or just keeping Parkey?
I think you just keep Parkey for a season and just
Maybe.
get better on offense.
I would say
Touchdowns.
you keep him. Now obviously I'm not a Bears fan. Like I can see why Bears fans are mad about this.
I think the
But-
smart financial move is you keep him.
Yeah. Like if you're a GM, why would you pay? First off, you paid him a lot of money to start with, and then you got to cut him and pay another kicker more money.
Okay. Here's
Now
a
you're
stat.
like, by the end, if you sign Robbie Gold, you're gonna have like 8 or 9 million in your cap that year just for your kicker. Like,
Cody Parkey has been on 5 other NFL teams.
Yeah.
Why is he like? I don't get why he's still getting a job if he's just keep getting cut from teams.
Dude, there's like 3 good kickers and
Yeah.
a bunch of guys who are okay, and then there's some bad kickers.
Like, remember the Steelers thought that Boswell was good and he was freaking awful this year.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know. Like kickers
Tucker,
are weird.
You can count on Tucker.
Yeah.
You can count on, I guess, Robbie Gold. Robbie Gold's been a stud.
He had that one really bad year though too. It's like
Greg the Leg in Los Angeles is a good kicker, and that's like it. Like who else do you got?
I mean, Jankowski when he's not hurt.
That guy for the Giants was a stud this year.
I still like Gostkowski.
Gostkowski's good. Gostkowski's like a top 10 kicker for sure. Matt Prater. So there's good kickers. And I'd say even though he kind of fucked our playoff game up, Vinatieri's been good. And he's like 46.
that playoff loss wasn't on. I think that was on the receivers in that game. But
I think the Eagles are better than everyone thought. Like they put a pretty decent game up against the Saints. Like they went into New Orleans.
All right, they won the Super Bowl last year without their quarterback. They're a good team.
I'm curious the best D-line to see where Nick Foles goes next year. That'll be interesting.
My guess is he gets grossly overpaid by like the Redskins, and then he's just mediocre.
I would say the Redskins either go after Foles or Flacco.
Flacco needs to be on a team. I don't like what the Ravens did to Joe Cool.
I don't either. And I know Lamar Jackson's like, I guess your guy, but I don't like picking.
I don't think Lamar Jackson's the future of the Ravens. Like,
I don't think so either. That guy,
I don't know.
In that one playoff game, he was just god awful. The Chargers completely shut him down. That was ridiculous.
No, terrible.
Speaking of the Chargers, though, very upset about their loss to the Patriots. I was rooting for them. I like Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers whines a lot. He always is like whining with the refs. Like there'll be a call and then you'll just see Phil over there whining.
It was a really good Twitter video of like it was like pass to Keenan Allen and then some guy go like plong and like throw it like Phillip does where he's like under pressure and he's like.
I do hate how he throws the ball. He like sidearms it every time.
Dude, it's so weird.
I don't get how he even makes any.
Phillip Rivers. I'd rather have Phillip Rivers than
okay.
Was
back
Keenan
to
Allen?
Back to Mariota. I don't think so. Was it?
No, he played. He caught a touchdown at the
end. Yeah. Yeah, but back to Mariota. Phillip Rivers over Mariota for sure.
Rivers? I'll take Trubisky. I'll agree with Bowers. I'd rather have Trubisky than Mariota. We'll just shut that down. Kirk Cousins. Stafford? I'd rather have Stafford.
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, there's some.
Can we just say who we would rather not have? I think it'd be easier doing that.
I think he's a middle of the pack quarterback. So either way, we're gonna.
I don't think he's middle of the pack. I feel like he's right there with Jameis Winston. Those are the two goofballs of the draft class.
I think Jameis is a lot better than Mariota.
No.
Yeah. All right, hey, you want a hot fantasy tip next year? And everyone's listening, so if you remember this, take Jameis Winston as your quarterback next year. Bruce Arians, Jameis Winston offense. I bet he might not be great, but in fantasy, I bet he's great.
Where's Fitzpatrick gonna go after?
Okay, so I got the official quarterback power rankings for this season, and here's the list. We're gonna just go off the list here. We're gonna find where Marcus Mariota is. So, and we're gonna have some vindication here soon. At number one, obviously Patrick Mahomes, excellent season. In the AFC Championship right now, aiming to get to the Super Bowl. Might do it. I think the Patriots will win though, so I don't think he's the best quarterback right now. Number two, Drew Brees, excellent season. Yep. Self-explanatory there, really. He's actually played an excellent season. Who wants to guess who number three is?
Rivers.
Yeah, that's correct. Phillip Rivers.
Okay.
He had a really good season, but no one he's always just never talked about really. Seems like that every year.
Chargers, they've got the late game window.
Okay,
this is like always in the shadows of the Patriots and the Colts.
The rankings get pretty weird now. So number 4 is Russell Wilson.
Fine. It's luck, but okay.
I disagree with that. Number 5's Tom Brady.
No. I don't know about
not
that.
This
what?
If we're doing
Where's
this season,
list coming
there's
from?
no way.
List?
Number 6 is Aaron
I disagree. Luck?
No, this is not about the team. This is just the quarterback. This is just the quarterback.
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
It has nothing to do with the season or the team. It is the quarterback.
Oh.
Well, it's kind of the season, but it's just the quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers had a terrible season for Aaron Rodgers.
I am not taking.
Rodgers did not have a terrible season.
Tell me Tom Brady was better than Andrew Luck this year. That's bullshit, and you know it.
Andrew Luck should definitely be high on this list, but I think everyone hates Andrew Luck for some reason because of the way he looks. Now,
Fine, whatever.
All these quarterbacks are more attractive than Andrew Luck that are ahead of him. So Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, Philip Rivers, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson.
Put Deshaun Watson above Andrew Luck?
Is Andrew Luck?
Wait, what? No.
What?
How is Deshaun Watson ahead of
This
Andrew Luck?
list is not reputable.
No.
This
Did you
list
watch
is not
what our
reputable.
defense did to
Yeah,
Deshaun
this is a good
Watson?
list. This is good. Number 9 is Matt Ryan.
Fine. I think
Matty
he's higher.
Ice.
I
10,
take
Kirk
him.
Is Kirk Cousins a top 10 quarterback?
No.
Okay, he's number 10 here. Number 11 is Ben Roethlisberger of Pittsburgh. We're just gonna keep going through. This is pretty hard.
Goff. Where's Goff?
Hold on, my list just
Did
went
you say
away.
Luck yet?
Yeah, he was 8.
Okay.
How do you put
Goff.
Deshaun Watson over him?
Hold on.
Is Dak better than Kirk Cousins?
Is Dak better than Kirk Cousins or Mariota?
They're both better than Mariota. All right, we can play the game with. I think it's easier to play the game with Mariota. There's like 3 quarterbacks.
I don't know.
that
This
I'd
list
rather
has
have than
Mariota ahead of Mitchell. All I know is that is correct.
I'd rather have Mariota than that guy from the Chargers, Rosen,
Wait, the guy from the chart. What do you mean? The guy
or Cardinals.
from the
Cardinals. I'd rather have Mariota than maybe Derek Carr. That's toss.
That's a toss, though. That's a toss. I think I might rather have Derek Carr.
I'd rather have Jameis than Mariota. You guys might be mad about that, but
No.
Mariota's always hurt. He's always hurt.
Right, you'd rather have Mariota than Blake
I would
Bortles.
think
All in
perfect
agreement.
situation. Mariota is not made of glass, and he doesn't die if he gets touched. Though, the reason he dies is because his O-line is just god-awful. So, the Titans' O-line is just terrible.
Is there anyone in the NFC that you would rather have Mariota than? Or is there anybody in the NFC that's worse than Mariota? Any NFC QB?
Sorry, and I mean, who are like the Reds? Do the Redskins count like with like Alex Smith?
You would take Alex Smith. I assume he's healthy.
Yeah. Okay.
Mitchell Trubisky.
No. No.
I
Stop.
think
Stop
Trubisky's
the
is
bitch hate, dude.
good. He's just their O-line's good. He has a good defense. He's gonna have good stats.
I go back and forth on Mitch. He's not bad. He's not as bad as Joe's making him out
He
to
is
be.
a game manager, and I hate game managers. So you need a superstar.
Russell Wilson was a game manager for the first
He's a
years of his
superstar.
career, and now he's a
How did you
stud.
put Deshaun Watson above Luck and then say, "Oh, you need a superstar"?
I did not make that list. That
list was garbage.
What?
I typed in Google top NFL quarterbacks, and then I got a list, and then I read off the list.
That's a bad list.
Well, it's credible. It's on the internet.
We just took like 10 minutes of this podcast to get a fake list.
We're at
It's on.
over an hour. I don't even think this is
No,
going to
no.
publish the full.
No, we're only at 38 minutes. I don't care how long this goes.
Over an hour. Oh, we
whatever.
didn't start at 6:30. we had some technical difficulties. Remember?
Oh. Well, I was looking
You're
at the
not over an
counter. Oh, that's the call's been going. Okay, so the call didn't. I forgot we didn't restart the call.
We're only been recording for 38 minutes. We have at least an hour and a half left.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
We're fine.
All right. Where were we though? How did we get sidetracked to Marriott? What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about people's season. We were
talking about Fields' season, then we went to Mariota.
Yeah.
And we completely digressed from there. And we started talking about the Bears
How many
game.
many people's seasons do we get through? 2? We talk about 2
Yeah, we
people.
talked about 2. That was Presto's.
And then that's what makes a good podcast right there is how far can you digress from the main topic. That's great.
How many people are watching this? Like, when you're watching this in the chat, like, go in the group and say, hey, like,
It's
hey,
over
what's up?
100.
we actually watched it.
If you got this far in the podcast, text in the chat that Emil is gay. Just throw that in there. Just put that, and then if you got to this point, just text that in, and then we'll know. We'll be like, oh, they got that podcast.
It's to the end of this.
Emil will know. He'll be like, oh, everyone thinks I'm gay.
Emil doesn't watch the podcast.
Yeah.
But
all right, wait. Group discussion here. Is Emil out?
If he wants out, he's out. But if he wants to stay in, he's in.
Okay.
I heard he was busy. That was my understanding. Is he was busy, so he couldn't participate. But I think we're all busy. So
we'll ask him.
Yeah,
ask him.
I mean, I'm gonna be pretty busy next year, but I don't know. I'll still do it because I like it and it's fun. So if you're passionate about fantasy football, you'll stick to it. You'll play. I don't
let's
know.
talk about Emil's season. Just high garbage. Or that's not fair. He had that like mid.
He had that huge stretch. He had a 5-game win streak, right?
Yep.
I guess he beat me.
Still a bad season, but
The champ?
It could have been worse.
Did beat the champ.
Yes. So he started 0-5. Then he unfortunately beat me, and we'll get to that. But then, he had a 5-game winning streak, but then he lost the next three. Didn't make it into the playoffs.
I think we all saw it coming though, because like the games he was winning, he shouldn't. He got really lucky with matchups.
Yeah, he shouldn't have won those games.
And like my team was a lot better than what I was ranked.
And I just want to point out, Joe, if you would have played Widlow in the championship, you also would have won.
Yeah. I was gonna bring that up. I'm glad you did. So, fuck you, Widlow. You also lost to me, in a way. So you could PayPal me or Venmo me. Later.
Give Joe like most of the money.
Hold on, I'm getting a phone call.
Okay. Let's do Noah. I would say, despite the finish, good season for Noah.
I think it was just Noah was a good fantasy player to have in the league. Honestly, he really increased his trade frequency.
He did
quite a bit.
He did make that trash trade that we all.
Yeah, giving Tim Michael Thomas. It didn't end up mattering that much though, because Tim's team completely blew up.
So Noah, not a great season, but you're taking up.
He didn't draft his team, to be fair.
Yeah,
so
that's not fair. Let's talk about Tim. Tim made the playoffs. Is it is a successful season for Tim?
Successful? I think it's just like a wash. I think it's just a wash.
A wash, okay. Because like he had good weeks.
He had a good stretch, yeah.
But his team just pooped out the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and he did like the week before. The Nick Grimmer like end of the season just like fall apart move.
Yeah, like he took a shit right before,
and I don't think it was really his fault entirely. I mean, Kamara, I guess we could
he was
say
Saints heavy.
Downward. Yeah.
He had all my Saints.
And all the Saints go marching in.
Let's do some quick ones. Can we say the two biggest losers this year? I would say are Grimmer and Guzik.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
I agree. I mean, Grimmer, he was doing pretty well for a while, and then it just kind of.
That's why, like, it was probably his least successful season because he knew, like, he had sample data that told him, like, I got to change the way I handle this, or I'm going to just lose. And
he over-adjusted, though. If he would have stayed put.
Guzik should not have won as many games as he should have.
He totally won that trade I made with him for Gurley. I gave up so much for Gurley. He won that trade, and then he just blew all the value of that trade on injured players and Jordan Howard and what?
Very unfortunate.
How did he lose McCaffrey?
For like James White and so like James White.
Disaster.
All right, he had Gurley, he had Tyreek Hill, he had.
He traded for James White and Kerryon Johnson.
I would say this is like easily like Grimmer gets like the worst award.
Why are you yelling?
I'm doing my podcast.
Oh shit. Grimmer at the Kings Center.
Wow.
Okay, I'll let you do your podcast.
Hey, thanks. Dumb slut.
Nice.
So we could do like winners and all right. So Grimmer and Ben, biggest losers. Noah, bad season but solid. Emil, neutral season for Emil. TJ and Noah get like the inspiring awards. Like they didn't have good seasons, but they were inspiring. Joe, would you say your season was a success?
I my season was not a success because I didn't win.
But
the ending reward that I got is a success.
Yeah,
Okay.
Strong finish.
Ballots, was your season a success?
I think it was, especially considering like with like trading for Le'Veon Bell and still making it work. And like Connor went down. Like the problem was Connor went down like the last part of the season. Like if he was there around playoff time, I think I might have had a better shot at.
Like you traded for Thielen, and you kind of gave up a lot for Thielen and Mahomes. And Mahomes was good, but Thielen
I think that actually ended up working though, because like, I gave up like LaShawn McCoy and Tyler Boyd. So like,
yeah, good maybe. Little B is an interesting name. Tim Wash.
Yeah.
Little B. Not the outcome you hoped for, but I think he put together a pretty good season.
I still think it's pretty funny how I beat him 3 times.
Yeah. Honestly, we'll call Little B a wash.
Yeah.
So I would say so far we have one successful season.
Well, yours and Willow are both successes.
We haven't went over me and Widlow yet because honestly I think is this season
Willow is a success.
Is that a success?
Yeah.
He's the number one seed.
If you win, no. Widlow's is not a success, and here's why: he lost when it mattered. That's not
He
success.
still got to the championship though.
But if you're Widlow right now,
does he feel like
cruise the entire season?
No.
You cruise the entire season. It was never a doubt he had the best team. Great trade. Great moves that he made. Like it was a successful season. But then wow. I'm sorry. Hey.
What just happened?
Back on Widlow. I don't think his season was a success. I feel like if he was on here and we asked him, Widlow, was your season a success? He would go, no. Because he, to me, in the championship, like the one thing he needed to do was just beat me in the championship.
I'm gonna text
it's an
Widlow.
easy success.
I'm going to say, was your fantasy season a success?
Ballots, I would say yours was. Presta, I would say his was. Honestly, I'll give it to Little B. I think Little B's fantasy season was a success. I don't know if Little B has ever made the playoffs before this.
Does Little B the comeback player of the year or like turnaround player of the year?
Yeah, I would say so. Him or Tim, if you consider Tim's been out for a while and slipped in there. But I would say Little B's team was better than Tim's.
Yeah.
And Little B had an okay week against you in the playoffs. Tim's team did not have a good week against me. So technically he got 5th, but I would say Little B was much more of a success. And then Joe, I would say at worst yours is neutral.
Yeah.
Because like obviously you had a trash season.
So I mean,
during the regular season.
I want to kind of look at this real quick here. So
like,
I started
point-wise, pretty close to Tim. You're only 100 points off.
Yeah, you did get screwed by the scheduling too. So that's
I started 0-8
points against you.
I did.
Yes. By far.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure I had most points against me every past week 2, not week 1 because I didn't get most scored against me week 1, but after week 2, most points scored against me the entire season.
Okay.
So you were only like 90 points off of Tim.
I didn't know it was they did point differential in this, but we have point differentials to look at, which is kind of cool. So I just want to do some highlights on point differential. Did I lose it? Did I lose the point differentials? No, I didn't. Okay. So Guzik actually had a positive point differential, 3 points, even though he was in last.
Yeah, but I think we should look for points scored because you can't do anything with like points against. It's not like the NFL.
I like point differential. It's kind of cool.
No,
it tells the story.
I've never seen this stat before.
It tells the story.
I've never even seen this stat.
Because even if you can't control points against, I mean, you really can't control points scored either. So
you have a little more control over that.
Okay.
But
so Joe, on average, someone scored 131 points against you a week.
That is ridiculous. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's the most by far. So you had a negative 19.4 point differential.
Oh my god.
Which isn't as bad as TJ's negative 32.2.
Well, I'm pretty sure TJ had some strings where he scored like 60 points.
TJ's average points was 94. Okay.
Gosh.
All of the top 6 people had positive point differential. Tim's was actually better than mine, 3.9. Whitlow had an average victory of plus 32 points.
Holy crap.
Hey, Whitlow was just freaking good, dude.
He averaged 146 points a game. I only had a point differential of positive 1.9. I scored an average of 127 points a game, and 125.4 points were put up against me. That is the third highest number. Talk about overcome. I don't think Whitlow's season is a success. I'm gonna be honest.
I texted him and he hasn't responded yet.
Like just to look at it through his
was
lens,
your season a success? And we're waiting if it was or not.
Through his lens, like obviously great team, great season, kinda. But to get that far and to fall just that disappointingly, how could you?
Yeah, he didn't even put up a fight in the championship.
I just want to say it was against me, so he's got to be kind of pissed.
Oh, I mean, I think, angry, disappointed,
sad,
just empty inside. I think that those are the words that describe how Whitlow feels. But that's okay. Whitlow, what you got to do is bounce back next year.
Yes.
And overcome what happened.
Whitlow
next year.
Whitlow was the Patriots when they went up against the Giants and not the Super Bowl when they were undefeated, but the other one.
Can he be the Falcons? That makes so much more sense.
Falcons, where he just should have won, but didn't.
Why would he be the Falcons?
But he wasn't up. He wasn't up. Like, he had a really good season.
All season.
Yeah.
And how am I anything but not the Patriots with 3? I'm sorry. I honestly don't know how this worked out so well.
I feel
like pretty lucky on this year. The other years were like you had the best team by a pretty good margin. Yeah. I felt like your team wasn't as strong this year, but you still pulled it out.
No. Actually, I feel like the Titans with the injuries that they get. That's what I feel like.
You should in your support. You should draft Mariota as your quarterback next year.
You can have him.
Because I don't think he's good, but I'm saying he's better than most.
And I would just I think my season was absolutely a success. I could not have if you asked me exactly how I wanted to win this season, I probably could not have thought of a better way than squeaking into the playoffs, winning games by just as much as I need to, and then blowing
You
Whitlow
got
out
lucky
of
with
the
playing.
championship.
You got lucky with playing Tim when he was complete garbage.
Yeah. Would I have lost?
Whitlow's responded.
Nope. You're not first.
Perfect response. That's exactly how I feel. Nice.
All right. Good. That's awesome.
Nope.
I'll shoot him a like.
That's awesome. All right, what do we do next here?
Top. Who are your top 5 picks for next season?
That's tough.
You can start.
Let me pull it up. Actually, I didn't have it pulled up. Let me look at the points scored. Go to players. I need a couple minutes to think about this too. I think they're all going to be running backs though. Depending.
All right. So
where's Antonio Brown going to be?
Let's go. Yep. We can make like a definitive top. So Gurley, Barkley. Does anyone disagree with those two?
No.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Zeke, definitely
Zeke or McCaffrey?
I
think he goes Zeke.
That's a tough one.
It's McCaffrey 4.
Where depends where Bell goes. Where's Bell go is the question.
Yeah, and we don't have that.
I don't know, but I'll give you some other names to consider. Melvin Gordon. Is he a top 5 pick?
No, he always gets hurt. I feel like he's late first round.
But when he is healthy.
Yeah, but he always gets hurt though. He's like,
all right, what about James Conner?
Hurt.
Top 5? Top 6?
No.
Kamara.
See, this is tough. Like,
what do you think about Kamara? Mark Ingram. Assume Mark Ingram's still in New Orleans.
Is he on contract?
They signed him to a 1 or 2 year deal.
Here's the problem though. What happens with Drew Brees? If he wins, do you think he's done, or does he come back for another year?
I bet he comes back.
He's 40.
Is Devontae Adams the number 1 wide receiver next year?
I think so.
Yeah, I actually believe that to be true. New offense coming in, with the new head coach.
With the Titans offensive coordinator.
Hey, that guy is actually pretty good.
Michael Thomas, top 12 pick.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Do you go with him or Thielen?
Actually,
or Antonio Brown.
Not Thielen. Would you rather have
Michael Thomas as a first-round pick?
What about Joe Mixon? A really quiet, great season from Joe Mixon, and he actually performed really well without Dalton.
Have we mentioned like Tyreek Hill and those guys?
Oh,
I would say
Tyreek Hill,
he's like 15.
I think Tyreek Hill might be.
I think Tyreek Hill you get before Michael Thomas.
Here's a question: do you take Nick Chubb before you take Tyreek Hill ballots?
They're both like what, late first round picks?
I don't think you do that.
With 12, yeah, they would be like late first.
I don't
early
know.
second.
I think you take Tyreek.
Is Patrick Mahomes a top 20 pick next year?
Not in our league, no.
I think you watch out for a bit of regression as
you can't do that in our league, or you're going to be screwed with your depth.
Yeah.
Because if you take a quarterback in the first 2 rounds, either your running back or wide receiver depth is just going to be completely screwed. I think you take him late third round.
I think my rankings, if I had to make my own rankings right now, and I'm going to pretend Bell goes to the Jets because I feel like it could happen. Gurley, 1. Barkley, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke, Melvin Gordon, 4. McCaffrey, 5. Kamara, 6. James Conner, 7. Bell, 8. Devontae Adams, 9. Michael Thomas, 10. Joe Mixon, 11. Hopkins, 12. Chubb, 13. Tyreek Hill, 14.
I don't know if you want to
There's your
take
top 14
Tyreek
pick.
Hill after Hopkins. Like Hopkins was, I had him this year. Like he was okay. Like he wasn't really that great. Like he was
Is
good.
Antonio Brown on the 49ers next year?
If he is, I think he's still pretty good with.
If he's in
Garoppolo.
Pittsburgh, it sounds like he's not going to be in Pittsburgh again. But if he's in Pittsburgh again, he's the top 12 pick.
Yeah.
If he's in San Francisco.
Is Juju a top 5 wide receiver next year?
No.
If Antonio Brown's gone.
I'd rather have Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Julio, Tyreek Hill, and Brown, regardless of where he goes.
Yeah, and those are your top
And
5
then,
scores of this season.
I think you can make arguments for guys like Odell, Evans. I think Evans is going to be wherever Evans goes next year is a steal. I think like 3rd round probably. I trust that Bruce Arians gets that offense figured out. I bet they put up a ton of points. I don't know if they'll win a lot of games because of their division and their defense, but I bet they put up points. And then guys like Ty, who are sketchy, but this year he won. He's my second half MVP by far. Like he was probably my most consistent player.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
I think I almost go with Barkley as the number 1 pick.
I could see Barkley over CJ or over Gurley, especially if they re-sign CJ and you assume that's him a good amount.
I think I'd put Kamara higher.
Then I had him at like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think he'd go a little higher, maybe 4.
Because he's not a workhorse.
Yeah. But
Ingram screws it up.
He was I had him when Kamara or when Ingram was out, and he was the number 1 guy, and then I traded him away, and honestly, it worked out well because he was still a top 10 guy.
Yeah,
he wasn't. Him and McCaffrey have such value in the passing game, and like so does Barkley, so does Gurley, obviously.
Mike Thomas finishes wide receiver 6 on the year.
Yeah, if Melvin's healthy, Melvin's top 3.
Here's the thing, though. Melvin Gordon always gets hurt the second half of the season. It's like clockwork, dude. It's like the last 3 seasons.
I know.
Yeah, but what's scary is he, 5, 6. He's still the 7th highest running back scorer for this season.
How many games did he miss?
4. 4. That's ridiculous.
He's top 7, and he missed 4 games.
Yeah, that's actually pretty ridiculous for a stat line.
That's a stat.
Well, James Conner's 6, and he missed 2, 3.
Yeah.
I think James Conner's a top 10 pick easy. I don't think the Steelers are going to be near as good without Antonio Brown. I still think they'll be good, but I don't think their offense will be as crazy. Antonio Brown gets double and triple covered every game, all the time. And he still puts up 20 points a game.
Is Antonio Brown the best wide receiver in the league right now?
All right, I like Julio better. Like, I think Julio's more talented, but Antonio Brown's got the best numbers for the last 5 years easy. Julio's a freak, but they don't throw him the ball as much as Antonio Brown, and it seems like when teams in the red zone want to shut Julio down, it works. But when teams in the red zone want to shut Antonio Brown down, it just doesn't work. And I don't know what the translation is there. I don't watch enough Falcons versus Steelers games to understand why it works with Antonio Brown, who's 6 inches shorter and not a red zone target.
How many of Antonio Brown's touchdowns are from the 10-yard line though? Does he get a decent? I think he gets a decent amount of longer catches too.
He does too, but a lot of them come in the red zone.
Yeah.
A lot of them come from 3 yards out. If they don't pound it in with Connor the first time, they'll try to hit Brown on a screen or a fade to the outside. It's like clockwork.
Well, they don't really have as many.
He scored 14. I think he scored 14 13 touchdowns this year.
They don't really have like a solid tight end.
No.
So
Vance
maybe that's part of
McDonald
it.
hit that one guy with the stiff arm. You remember that? That was cool.
Like I don't know.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
The Saints.
The Saints?
Yep.
Joe?
Patriots.
Okay. I'm going to take the Rams.
I'm hoping both games are close.
I think the Rams have the pass rush to beat any team and the scheme to decipher a defense. I think Mahomes is going to... I think the Chiefs will get there. I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Patriots. I also thought the Chargers would beat the Patriots, and that just didn't work out at all. But
honestly, the Patriots could just figure out a way to win because they're the freaking Patriots.
Yeah.
But
Belichick's the best. Best ever.
I'm excited for these last two playoff games, though. It's the best teams going against each other, so.
Yeah, these are the top 4 teams.
Imagine another Rams-Chiefs matchup.
That would be wild.
That was a great game, so I wouldn't be disappointed in that.
That was one of the most fun games.
I think Patriots Saints would be very cool too, because
kind of like Drew Brees, the old talent, and the solid head coach quarterback combos. Has Brees only won one Super Bowl?
Yes. I'd like to see it for Brees,
but does he retire after that?
No.
How
is Brady gonna retire?
I don't know. How long do you think Brady's 41 and Brees is 40? When do either of them retire? Like everyone talks about Tom being really old, but like Drew Brees is right there too.
I think after Brees' season compared to Tom's season, I think Brees has a year, at least 2 or 3 years left. Brady, I could see if he wins the Super Bowl, he retires.
Tom's weird though, man. Like,
yeah,
I could see him winning the Super Bowl and sticking around.
Yeah.
Hard call.
Is Mahomes going to do a sophomore slump?
I feel like he's got to go down a little bit at least.
Is he too good?
Is he too good? I don't know.
Dude, the playoff game that we had with them, first off, they just kicked our butts. But second, Mahomes was making these sidearm throws.
He always freaking does that.
Yeah, but he killed us like 3 or 4 times. Just crazy first downs.
How did the Chiefs defense shut you guys down?
Their pass rush was a lot. Like that was their best game of the season by far.
Now I watched that game, and the problem was just every Colts receiver just kept dropping the ball.
We had the most drops.
That was ridiculous.
Like Ebron's pretty known for dropping the ball, and he's been better this year, but he still drops it a lot. Our number 2 receiver is still Dontrell Inman.
He was a bear.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask who.
I can't even be mad about the Colts just because this was not our year. It wasn't supposed to be our year. We had 2 different rookies on our O-line. They both played great, but they were still rookies. All of our rookies did really well, but we're a super young team. Like minus Vinatieri, like we're the youngest team in football. We're in like year 2 of like a gotta be 4 or 5 year rebuild before we can like realistically think we can make the Super Bowl. We still have the most cap space in the league. We have we have an extra 2nd round pick from the Jets this year. It's the 3rd pick in the 2nd round that we got last year from that trade with them. And we used those picks last year to pick Leonard and that Braden Smith, our new right tackle. Like, obviously, we're going to save money to pay, like, Quinn Nelson and Darius Leonard and guys like that, Malik Hooker, but I'm happy about the Colts.
I'm happy with the Bears season, too, man. Like, I wasn't expecting
You gotta
that.
be, right?
Yeah.
Like,
12 wins?
Yeah. It was exciting to watch the Bears again for the first time in...
And their offense doesn't go, like, 3 and out, like, a bunch either. They usually at least get something going, which is nice to see.
I'm in the middle with Mitch. He's not bad.
He's still getting better, too.
I don't think he's good, but I don't think he's bad. And you can win with Mitch.
Yeah.
And he kind of... Joe's right. He did have pretty much an offense tailored around him. You guys spent a lot of money on Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, and Trey Burton. Allen Robinson was okay. Gabriel was okay, and I think you're disappointed with Trey Burton.
Yeah.
But Nagy should be good for a while.
Yeah, that was a
problem is if the Packers' new guy is good, their defense finally looked good this year for the first time in forever. And it was a problem with the offense.
Yeah.
So offense I have a hard time believing, like, the Packers are my pick next year to win that division. I feel like it'll be a quick turnaround for them.
Yeah, I mean, I like the coaching change, and Matt LaFleur, he's been like the QB coach and offensive coordinator for actually a lot of great teams during great runs. So, and yeah, I don't know. I think he'll be able to like make that offense look new because it's like just predictable at this point. And that's what they need is just something new. So.
I feel like the Packers are going to go easily from the most disappointing team to like the most on the up team. Just because you're going to see. I don't think the Vikings... Man, did the Vikings mess their opportunity up or what?
I mean, Kirk Cousins just isn't that great. Like, he's not worth the money.
I don't know. I like Kirk Cousins.
What do you think about Chuck as a defensive coordinator?
I think he'll do well. You guys have a good defense.
Yeah.
So, like, he'll have his scheme. Do you guys play 3-4, right?
Yeah, I think 3-4. We got Mac as linebacker.
Yeah. No, I think Chuck will do well. He was behind a lot of those good Ravens defenses, and honestly, he never had the personnel with the Colts to really have a good defense. We always had these old ass dudes, and they would always play okay, but like he was working with like DeQuell Jackson and like Robert Mathis when he was like 39.
I mean, I think it'd be good if like the Bears and Packers are both good, because those would be some nice games to.
Yeah.
If it comes down to like the season on who wins the division. What if the Lions are kind of screwed?
Lions.
Poor Lions, you know. I mean, that's just tough. Because even
we
like
want
the Vikings,
we want to make some way too early predictions for next year.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Bears or Packers, then Vikings, and then Lions.
Let's go division. Who wins the divisions?
All right.
We'll do NFC first. Then AFC.
All right, let me pull them up.
All right. We're starting AFC or NFC?
AFC East. Let's say AFC East. Right. I'm going Patriots.
All right, Patriots take that division. Tom's playing again.
Agreed.
No indication of retirement soon. They win the division.
All right,
AFC North.
I don't know.
I like the Browns.
I
was going to say the Browns, but I'm going to go with the Steelers.
I'll take
go with the Steelers. I think the Steelers bounce back.
I think Steelers as well. I don't think the Browns are...
Browns might be like another year out of it.
Much better, but not able to win.
They might get a wild card. I can see them getting a wild card.
I can see them getting a wild card too. I don't think they win the division either.
AFC South. I'm going Colts.
Ditto.
Colts, yeah.
AFC West. Yeah.
I think. Ooh.
Chargers.
I was about to say Chargers too. I think Chargers take it.
Maybe go Chiefs again. I think Andy Reid I think it's gonna be one of those Chargers off years. Philip Rivers is actually pretty old.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So it's his time to win title and then go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's getting up there. I hope Andy Reid can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true too.
I feel like he's. And I heard a stat the other week, and it was Bill Belichick's Patriots defense in his entire coaching career has given up 7 40-point games. 4 of them have came from Andy Reid offenses. I like that.
The thing is, Tom in that Patriots offense could easily put up like 40 on the Chiefs.
Yeah. NFC East.
I'm going with the Cowboys.
Now this is very bold, and I want you guys to remember this when it happens. Okay. Giants, Eli.
Giants.
He's coming back to the playoffs.
I'm taking the Giants too. That was
Nice.
nice.
NFC North.
Packers.
Bear down.
I'm saying Packers, and that's unbiased.
NFC South.
Falcons.
Saints. But Falcons are a good call. They would be I bet they get into a wild card. They're a good team.
I want to say Saints just because that's tough, but Saints.
Once Falcons get Freeman back, I think, and they get some of their defensive stars back, I think they'll have a pretty solid season. Rams. Oh wait, is Goff on a contract? Does he have to get paid this year?
I think he will get paid this year.
I think he'll be on the Rams again.
Yeah, he's gonna get paid. I'll say the Rams, but I bet the Niners make the playoffs too.
That's tough.
The Seahawks that's a tough
I could see
division.
that division pulling out 2 wild card teams, to be honest, but
I could see that. One of them's coming from the South and one of them's coming from the West.
Well,
the North could be good. The North could be good if the Packers and Bears are solid.
We got to see what the Packers do next year, because I don't know.
I think the Bears take a step back and the Packers take a step forward. Like, I can see the Bears going 10-6.
New defensive coordinator is going to do anything. I don't know. We'll see for the Bears. But
I got to believe in Rodgers and the new offense. And their defense finally looked good. Like, they finally got good. How long has their problem been their secondary? Like, the entire time we've been watching the Packers. And they finally get, like, a solid young...
They weren't good against the Jets or the Lions, though. The Jets put 38 on, the Lions put 31.
Got pass rush.
I would attest that the Jets score line to be part of their special teams, though. They played great special teams that day. They had one return for a touchdown. One was like almost another return.
But Sam Darnold went 24 for 35, 341 passing yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Nice stat.
Sam Darnold, whatever.
I still just got the Packers. Do we have any recap on the fantasy season? Do you have anything you want to say before we kind of hype this thing up?
Really needs to be next year, honestly. That's kind of all I have to say.
You know, I'm rooted for Schultz, dude. It's like the Patriots.
It's such a target on my back now. Like, you win 1, 2, 3 or something, and
not his fault. Hey, it's not Schultz's fault. We all have to play better.
We're gonna take it seriously that we're not gonna trade with you.
We can't be mad at Schultz for winning. We have to be mad at ourselves for losing, and that's my take-home message. There is you gotta hate on yourself if you want to be better. You can't just target Schultz because
I would just like to say I think the biggest difference in my season this year. Obviously, I made a lot of trades, but the biggest trade I made was trading Todd Gurley to Whitlow.
Yeah.
Like, I literally gave him the best player by far. If that's not like a... First off, you have to take it. Right? Is that a lesson on how one player is not more valuable than 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Like, if you were Whitlow and you had that team, wouldn't you take that trade?
Yeah, probably.
Like, he gave me Mixon, T.Y., and Mark Ingram for Gurley and somebody else. I don't even think the other part mattered.
I don't know. I feel like Grimmer's team was pretty solid when he had McCaffrey. And I think your team was pretty solid when you had McCaffrey, too.
I had McCaffrey for like maybe 2 days. Like, he was never on my team, really.
Yeah.
I'm not high on McCaffrey. I don't. It's just, I just don't. I'm not high on him.
Are the Panthers going to be good next year or no?
No.
No, they have a lot of issues.
They're at best the third best team in that division. The Falcons got so injured this year.
Falcons are going to be good.
And you got to imagine the Saints are good if Breeze is there. We are in an hour and 20 minutes. I feel like this is a good recap show for the season. We talked
definitely
about fantasy. Plenty of content. Ballots, maybe we'll do this a couple months before the season starts and kind of talk about the draft and
that'd be good.
The potential. Maybe we'll get Joe on and he can explain his pick.
Yeah.
He'll get to choose.
a lot of research to do.
I'm gonna when you do decide what pick you want, I'll tell me and then I will I'm gonna tell everyone their pick pretty early this year, I think.
How early?
I don't know. Give them a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Plenty of time to do research.
Can we try to do it like the week? I don't know. When are we gonna try to do it? After week 3 or week 4?
We did it early. Do you like doing the draft early or late?
No.
Later's better. Just because that one time.
No injuries. You get screwed by injuries.
Early and then.
Earlier, yeah.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Remember, if you listened all the way through or halfway through, whenever I said it, Emil is a faggot. Is that what I said to say?
No, you didn't. You said gay.
Oh.
Gosh, dang it, so.
He is though. Totally is.
Well, yeah, but you just totally changed up the word. I mean, I don't think it's derogatory. I think it's PG.
Hey, what do you expect from the SJW podcast?
How about that Gillette commercial, though?
We will see you guys next year.
No, it's the same year.
Yeah, it's next year. See ya.